The cold steel walls of the alien spaceship hummed with an eerie blue glow. The ship, Southerin, belonged to the ruthless Zarkelians, a warlike species feared across the galaxy. Tall, insectoid beings with chitinous exoskeletons, they prided themselves on being the ultimate predators. Tonight, they celebrated. They had captured a human. The experiment begins. Commander Vorkesh stood before the containment chamber, his mandibles clicking in amusement. The human was unconscious, restrained by energy cuffs, lying on a cold metal table. This creature, Vorkesh sneered, is rumored to be incredibly weak. Yet, somehow, their kind has spread across the stars. We will study it, dissect it, and use what we learn to conquer their pathetic worlds. His second-in-command, Sidor, tilted his head. Are you certain this is wise, Commander? Humans, they are unpredictable. Vorkesh let out a clicking laugh. Do you fear this soft-skinned primate? He turned to the scientists. Wake it up. A robotic arm injected a stimulant into the human's neck. The man gasped, his body jerking awake. He blinked against the harsh lights. His name was Daniel Carter, a former Marine who had been abducted while camping in the wilderness of Earth. He groggily sat up, testing the strength of his restraints. He wasn't sure where he was, but he recognized one thing immediately. He was a prisoner. Big mistake. The first mistake, underestimating a human. Daniel took a deep breath, steadying himself. His body still ached from whatever sedative they had used, but his mind was sharp. He scanned the room, metallic walls, glowing control panels, and 6-foot-tall insectoid aliens, watching him with an air of superiority. One of them, the apparent leader, clicked his mandibles and spoke. You will answer our questions, human. Struggle, and you will suffer. Daniel smirked. Is that supposed to scare me, Bugface? Vorkesh bristled at the insult. He turned to one of his soldiers. Teach this creature some respect. The Zarkelian soldier, nearly 7 feet tall with razor-sharp claws, stepped forward. He raised a stunned bacon and swung it toward Daniel's head. But Daniel was already moving. With reflexes honed through years of combat training, he twisted his body just enough for the bacon to miss. Using the momentum, he swung his legs up, wrapping them around the alien's arm and wrenched it out of its socket. The alien screeched in agony. In the chaos, Daniel yanked his arms apart, shattering the energy cuffs. His captors had made a fatal error. They had assumed he was weak. The second mistake, thinking strength is just physical, alarms blared as Daniel rolled off the table and grabbed the fallen soldier's weapon. The other Zarkelians rushed toward him. But Daniel wasn't just a soldier, he was human, and humans didn't just rely on strength. They adapted. With the stunned Baton in one hand and quick reflexes guiding him, he ducked under a clawed strike, jabbed an alien in the abdomen, and spun around to knock another one unconscious. Vorkesh watched in disbelief. Impossible. He's unarmed. But Daniel wasn't unarmed. He had willpower. He had rage. And most importantly, he had ingenuity. The third mistake. Thinking a human wouldn't turn the tables, Daniel rushed toward the control panel, smashing buttons at random. He didn't know their language, but he knew tech. A section of the wall opened, revealing a weapons cache. Jackpot, he muttered. Grabbing an alien plasma rifle, he whirled around and fired. The first shot took out the power to the containment cells, causing the force fields to drop. Other prisoners, creatures from different worlds, stumbled free. Some cowered in fear. Others saw an opportunity. Daniel turned to them. You want to sit here, or you want to make them pay? The response was immediate. A reptilian warrior grabbed a discarded weapon. A 4-armed brute roared and charged at the guards. Chaos erupted. The fourth mistake, thinking humans don't hold grudges. Vorkesh fled toward the bridge, his mind racing. How had everything fallen apart so fast? This was just one human. He barely made it through the doors when he heard a voice behind him. Going somewhere? Vorkesh turned and saw Daniel standing there, plasma rifle leveled at his head. His uniform was torn, blood splattered across his arms, but his eyes burned with fury. You should have left me on Earth, Daniel said coldly. Vorkesh reached for a hidden blade. Bang! A plasma shot burned a hole through his chest. The commander collapsed, his body twitching before going still. Daniel exhaled and turned to the control panel. His fingers danced across the alien interface, accessing the ship's database. A grin spread across his face. These idiots have left their self-destruct codes unsecured. The final mistake. Thinking a human wouldn't burn it all down. Daniel activated the countdown. Across the ship, alarms blared again, this time in true panic. The remaining Zarkelians scrambled for escape pods. Daniel and the freed prisoners ran to the docking bay, finding a shuttle. He quickly powered it up, overriding the security lock. The ship's engines roared to life just as the Xaltheran began to shudder violently. As they soared away, Daniel watched through the viewport. The alien warship, once a symbol of terror, erupted in a brilliant explosion. He smirked. That's what you get for kidnapping a human. Epilogue. A warning to the stars. News of the Xaltheran's destruction spread across the galaxy. The Zarkelian High Command was furious, but deep down they were terrified. A single human had dismantled one of their finest ships, slaughtered their soldiers, and walked away without a scratch. Other alien empires took notice. Maybe, just maybe, humans weren't as weak as they had believed, and if one human could do this, what would happen if an entire human fleet arrived? No one wanted to find out. The lesson? If you ever travel to stars and think about messing with humans, don't. It won't end well for you.